The concept of a food desert, really, the nuance there is access to food, right? So if you've got a vehicle, brilliant. It's easy to get to food. Now, District 10 is one of the most diverse districts in the city of Madison. Today, this event is sponsored by Nakoma, Midvale, and Orchard Ridge. The other neighborhoods that are involved, and I see representation from the other neighborhoods, are Allied Drive, Dunn's Marsh, and Summit Wood. Allied Drive, and to a lesser extent Dunn's Marsh, are neighborhoods that have some of the highest dependency on public transportation in our whole city. And from that neighborhood, it's particularly difficult to get to affordable, fresh food. Walgreens wasn't a makeshift solution to that. Walgreens is overpriced food. And when the Walgreens closed, now we had a serious problem on our hands. And so what I did in that situation, as I try to do in any situation that would come up like this, is as soon as we got word the Walgreens was closed, I pulled together the leaders of all the different grocery stores that I could think of. We had Tim Metcalf, we had the director of Hy-Vee, we had somebody from Whole Foods and Woodman's and Willie Street Co-op, and with the support of the mayor's office. So I had the mayor and myself and all these folks, and we just sat down and said, what are we going to do about this? What could happen? What could we do to ensure Madison it doesn't become the type of place where we have thousands of people that don't have reliable access to food? And so we took this bold step of investing a few $100,000 in seed funding to help incentivize the development of a grocery store in Allied Drive, which then was supported by the council. And the neighborhood itself, actually, the Allied Community Cooperative, partnered with UW, partnered with Willie Street Co-op, and responded to that RFP, and is making progress right now. They've got a buying club based in the neighborhood, and are in the process of establishing a grocery store.
Thank you. So the question is, what policies would you support to help reduce food deserts in the city? Steve.
Thank you, very good question. I would basically do what was already proposed, and that would be to work with the various store owners to find solutions. I don't sit on the council right now, so I don't have access to a lot of the inside information. All I can tell you is, just hearing the question, that's what I would do, is pretty much what he's done, and it sounds like he was able to be successful in that respect. I would work with the bus system to see if we can get more buses, but really you want to get the stores in the neighborhoods so that people have access to the food, or get a farmer's market going in there or something like that. But that $400,000 police study could buy a lot of help for those neighborhoods if we did that. So I, again, go back to that study being money maybe better spent somewhere else. So thank you.
Thanks. So District 10, like many parts of the city, is made up of constituents with different perspectives and needs. How will you determine what those different perspectives are, and how will you inform the council of the needs of your constituents, including those perspectives for which you as an individual may differ or disagree? And we'll start with you, Steve.
Thank you. As a person who is running for city council, District 10, our district, my first goal is to listen to you. So right there, I'm going to hear your concerns. Your vote overrides my vote. I'm not running for president or mayor. I'm listening to you. I'm here to hear what you have to say. Take your concerns to the council if I can't solve it on my own. Now, some things I can do probably on my own. Alder has some connections with city services and can help, but in some cases may need to bring those issues to the city council or to other alders or to the mayor. I would work on behalf of you to do that, but the main thing is I would take your concerns. I would listen to your concerns and take those where they need to go to find a solution. Very important. I listen to you. I work for you. And that's the main message there. Thank you.
Thanks. So the question is, how will you determine of the different perspectives are in the district, and how will you inform the council of the needs of your constituents, including the perspectives for which you as an individual may differ or disagree with?
So it's a cool question, and as I mentioned earlier, it's actually a uniquely applicable question to our district, right? So District 10, as I mentioned, the neighborhoods, you guys know them, I'm sure already, is one of the most diverse districts in the city. And from my perspective, that's a really exciting challenge as a local elected official, to be able to listen to the varied concerns in the different neighborhoods. And over the past 4 years, one of the most exciting, one of the most encouraging things that I've learned is that, look, we all have the same concerns, right? Whether you live in any of the various neighborhoods in District 10, regardless of what you look like, regardless of what your income level is, at the end of the day, we all want to live in a community that is safe, that is affordable, that we feel welcome in, and that we feel that we have the opportunity to thrive in, and for our family to thrive in. And so, this is actually a really good question from another perspective of how do you listen, right? So when there is an art to being able to listen without and disagree without being disagreeable. I'm going to try really hard not to look at anybody in the eye in the room, because many of you, we've had interactions where you felt strongly about something, and I sat and patiently listened, and you said, well, I really believe that this construction project should happen differently. This tear down, some of you are smiling, should happen differently in this neighborhood. And I said, I'm really, really appreciative of your perspective. And I'm going to hear you, and I'm going to keep listening to you. And I might not, at the end of the day, agree on the exact same fault line that you're going to, that you want this conversation to end on. But I'm going to continue to represent your view to my colleagues so that they understand your perspective. And I'm going to make my case as I think about balancing the needs of the constituency, which is the whole district, a given constituent, and the city. And so, I now have good friends that I met through projects where we completely disagreed on something, and now we continue to work together in the neighborhood on big and small things. That ability to listen is something that I frankly really pride myself in, and that ability to be able to ensure that that your voice is heard at those levels. And maybe at the time it doesn't feel like it, but hopefully in the end we'll come back and you'll say, as some of you have, you'll come back and say, thanks for being able to listen.
Thank you. All right, now we are on to the cards. And a number of people have this question, and it's regarding our state Supreme Court. Do you have any solutions for countering concealed carry on buses? And does the new ruling apply to school buses? So this is in regard to the Supreme Court decision that was issued yesterday against the city of Madison, saying that Madison Metro is not allowed to restrict people from carrying concealed weapons on the buses. So we will start with you. Yes.
The Supreme Court ruling, in my view, is tragic for our community. The idea that as members of the community, as we just try to go to work, as we just try to go to school, as we just hop on public transportation, that we now have to be concerned about the possibility that folks are carrying guns, weapons on the bus. Many of us on the council, including the mayor for that matter, are immediately responding by trying to figure out what position can we take? How can we fight back against that? I don't have the answer for you on that yet. Rejecting a Supreme Court ruling is not a particularly easy thing to do. But listen, people want to have guns in their homes. You can absolutely do that. People want to have guns in their car, you can absolutely do that. The bus is public space. That is city property, and that is public space where there's going to be several members of the community that are on that bus. And I believe that the city should continue to have the right to control and maintain what is allowed on that bus.
Thank you. So again, the question was, do you have any solutions for countering concealed carry on buses? And they wanted to know, does the new ruling apply to school buses?
Thank you for the question. I do not believe that it applies to school buses. From what I read, it looked like it just applied to our Madison buses. I differ from Maurice a little bit in that it is a state Supreme Court ruling. It's almost a waste of money to fight them. I don't know how we can fight this administration, this governor, the Republican legislature. There's a lot of pushback there, and we'd be wasting time, valuable time that could be spent towards other things. Now, I'm not a proponent of carrying a gun on a bus, but criminals don't follow the law anyway. So people who are licensed to carry a gun are trained in carrying guns. They're a little more trustworthy than the criminal. So in that respect, I would say that it is what it is. It's not something that I would be for, but it is what it is, and it's not the worst thing because, like I said, criminals have the access to guns. And if you have somebody on the bus that has a gun, you have a criminal on the bus, you have some form of defense. It may not be the best. In fact, I would recommend against anybody engaging in a criminal with a gun. But it's the law. If the governor and the legislature and the Supreme Court say you can carry a gun for personal protection on the bus and you're licensed to carry a gun, then so be it. That's the law. And to fight that is time that could be spent towards solving other problems. That's my take. I'm probably not a popular one with us, but it's a practical one. And that's one thing that I am. I'm practical. I won't fight fights that you're not going to win. I don't think we're going to win that one. Thank you.
All right. And Maurice would like a chance to respond.
I think one of the most important responsibilities, as I said earlier, of your local government, and for that matter of a citizenry, in this particular moment in time, is going to be the fight back. There are any number of state and federal Supreme Court rulings over the history of this country that have been worth fighting back against. This isn't the largest possible fight we can fight, but listen, it's a slippery slope. When we start giving up on our own values, we're done. That's exactly what the opposition wants.
All right, it goes back quick, but 30 seconds. All right, so I want to get to all these questions. Next question, if elected or re-elected, what city boards and commissions would you request to serve on and why? And I believe we'll go Steve.
Well, I don't have the privilege of knowing all of them, but they would be geared towards public transportation, public safety, and anything that could help better our community in lowering taxes. So again, I think there are many opportunities to engage. I would look at your feedback. What are your problems? What are your concerns? And then that would be maybe a committee that I could go on to help solve your problem. And that would be my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. So the question is, if re-elected, which city boards and commissions would you like to be proposed to serve on and why?
I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier that I got my start in public service, volunteering in the schools. In 2010, as I started seeking opportunities to get more engaged in our community, I said, I want to get involved in investing in the next generation of this community. And at the time, that felt like, I can volunteer in the school, and so I was tutoring algebra at Memorial for a couple of years. And building out from there is I thought, all right, I really enjoy the sort of micro level making an impact, but I actually feel like my skill set really lends itself to the sort of macro level impact. How can I get more involved? And so I joined a city committee and then a county committee. On the city level, the first committee I ever sought to join was the Public Safety Review Committee. And the reason I did that was because, A, our city had a reputation as, my friend Alder Matt Fair is in the room, and he can vouch for me.
Yep.
As a citizen, that was the first committee I ever joined. He was already an alder. Because our police department has a reputation of being a leader in the country as sort of the founding location for community policing, and having an opportunity to get invested in that work was going to be really important to maintaining our legacy as a city. So I think the work of getting involved in the committee doesn't start when you're elected to office. Many of you I actually know, or some of you I know are serving on city committees and county, and probably less so county committees because most of those are closed. I currently serve on on several committees, some of which I think I could probably get reappointed to, some of which I think that maybe my influence there is going to make it harder for me to get reappointed. So I serve on the Board of Estimates Committee, and I deeply desire to continue to serve on that committee because that's the city's finance committee. I've had the opportunity to serve on that committee for the past 2 years. That's where we screen the budget before it goes to the rest of the council, and that's the place where we do a lot of cutting. Right, the budget comes to us, and we have to figure out how do we adjust the mayor's executive budget, and then present that to the council as sort of the council's iteration of the budget. The way that we did that this past year was something that actually Alder Fair and I led on, was taking that process into the streets. We did a number of neighborhood budget listening sessions. Some were more well known than others, but I know some of you were there. And that's what I'm going to continue to do, is represent you in that capacity.
Thank you. Steve, would like to respond?
Thank you. I did mention it earlier, but running a neighborhood watch with 640 members does take a little time, and we do a lot of planning and a lot of organizing. So it takes a lot of time to do that, and I'm invested in that. I really care about our community, and so I just wanted to share that.